Hello everyone, I am Toshagi Sulaiman, one of the reporters in Group 7. Our topic titled Roles and Skills of Social Workers in Handling Selected Issues. Modes of management including related laws. But before I proceed to discuss my part, I will discuss first what is substance abuse. Substance abuse is a critical issue that affects not only the individual but also their family and community and encompasses the misuse of various substances including alcohol, prescription drugs, and illegal drugs and leading to physical, mental, social consequences. Understanding the underlying causes such as genetic predisposition, social influences, and mental health disorders can provide a deeper insight into why some people are more susceptible to addiction. Roles and skills of social workers to the people who are experiencing substance abuse. First one is assessment and intervention. Social workers assess the extent and impact of substance abuse on individuals and their families and provide appropriate interventions and referrals for treatment. The second is counseling and therapy. They offer counseling services to individuals struggling with substance abuse, helping them explore underlying issues and develop coping mechanisms. The third is rehabilitation and aftercare. Sa rehabilitation, tayong mga future social workers ay ating ina-assist ang client na may substance abuse sa mga rehabilitations programs in order for them na maging good condition ulit or for the recovery of their client. And also during the recovery process is nandun ang social workers para mag-provide ng support for them. Isa rin sa ginagawa ng mga social workers ay magbigay ng aftercare plans or i-assist ang client na ma-develop ulit para masigurado ang kanyang recovery. The fourth is prevention and education. Ang mga social workers ay nagkakandak ng community outreach programs like for example, mga organization na naglilibot every community para magbigay ng awareness para magbigay ng awareness sa mga individuals or in a community patungkol sa kung ano nga ba ang substance abuse and also nagbibigay ng mga prevention strategies about dito kung paano maiiwasan. And that will be all of my topic. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Good day to each and everyone. I am Bainar Abdullah Ko, and this is the continuation of Tosha Gil Sulaiman's report. So now let's proceed to advocacy. Advocacy, social workers advocate for policies and programs that address substance abuse, including improved access to treatment and support services. So we, the social workers, ang aim natin, di ba, is para magkaroon ng changes at magandang buhay ng bawat tao. So by advocating the policies and programs na ang focus ay about sa substance abuse, we can make changes. At para ma-motivate din natin ang lahat ng tao na iwasan ang dapat iwasan. And also by advocating people, matutulungan din natin yung mga taong naging victim ng substance abuse. So we can show them support by giving them services na pwede nilang ma-avail para makareceive sila ng treatment. So next here is the collaboration. They're working closely with the other professionals such as psychologists, psychiatrists, medical practitioners, and community organizations to provide comprehensive care and support. So we, the social workers, do also collaboration sa iba't ibang professionals sa mga psychiatrists, psychologists, medical practitioners, and community organizations. So bakit nga ba tayo nakikipag-collaborate sa mga professionals na ito? So it's because para sa kapakanan ng ating client, to provide them a comprehensive explanation, solution, care, and support sa kanilang condition. So by the help of these professionals, malalaman natin sa kanila kung gaano na bang naapektuhan ng substance abuse yung buhay nila. And by these professionals, malalaman natin sa kanila kung ano pa dapat yung gawin natin. By the help of them, malalaman natin kung anong way ba ng pagtulong ang bigay natin sa kanila. And para na rin, hindi tayo pa eme-eme lang ng solution pa na sa problema nila. So by the help of these professionals, professionals, dito natin malalaman sa kanila kung ano ba dapat yung tama na gawin para tama rin yung mabigay na solution doon sa problema ng ating client. So now, let's proceed sa related laws in the Philippines netong substance abuse. It is the RA 9165 or also known as the Comprehensive Dangerous Act na nilagdaang noong 2002. So, itong batas na ito ay naging matunog noong Duterte administration, like as in, walang araw na walang balita about sa batas na ito. And honestly, akala ko ang batas na ito ay about lang sa kapag ang tao ay nagda-drugs or nagbebenta ng drugs, ay kakasuhan siya under sa batas na ito. But then now, I've realized na itong batas na ito is hindi lang siya punishment because as you can see sa PPT ko, this law provides a framework for the prevention and control of drug abuse in the Philippines. So, hindi lang siya punishment, kundi framework din siya for prevention. And also, it outlines the penalties for drug-related offenses and establishment mechanism for drug treatment and rehabilitation. So, itong batas na ito is hindi lang siya punishment talaga, kundi dito rin natin malalaman yung mga treatment na gagawin doon sa mga victims ng under sa batas na ito. And additionally, this law focuses on the prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation of drug dependence. It emphasizes the importance of comprehensive approach to addressing substance abuse issues. So again, this law is hindi lang siya nakafocus sa punishment, kundi itong law na ito is nagpo-provide din siya ng prevention, such as educating people para hindi na ma-involve sa ganitong gawain, and ang paggamit ng pinagbabawal na gamot at pagbebenta nito. And this law also treating those drug dependents and rehabilitating them. Kasi hindi naman porket nahuli ka at nakulong ka doon na lang matatapos ang role mo sa buhay. Meron ka pa ding chance na magbago at makabalik sa dating ikaw by the help of those professionals nga na nasabi ko kanina kasi they are the one who will join you in the process of your changes. So, hindi naman ibig sabihin na drug dependence ka, hindi naman ibig sabihin na nakulong ka dahil sa drugs, na nakulong ka dahil nagbebenta ka ng drugs. Doon na matatapos ang buhay mo. No, it's still you still have chance na magbago. So it's parang ano lang din. So sa part mo is kung gusto mo talaga magbago is tanggapin mo yung tulong na i-offer sa iyo kasi it is not easy for you to change naman, di ba? Pero if merong mga taong willing na tulungan ka, and you should also parang maging submissive doon sa mga tao niya. Kasi in the end of the day, para din naman sa kapakanan mo yun. So, tayo na mga social workers is dapat natin gamitin yung mga principles natin na no judgments, ganyan, no judgmental attitude. Kasi yan nga, lahat ng tao is pwede pang magbago and lahat tayo is nagkakamali. And yung iba lang is yung mga pagkakamali nila is hindi nila naitatama at yung iba is gusto nilang itama. So, we are here to help each other. So, ayun, kung gusto mo ng changes is tulungan mo yung sarili mo at tanggapin mo yung tulong na ibibigay ng tao sa iyo. So, as a social worker student, we must know and study this topic because we can use this knowledge soon when we're dealing now with other people. Kasi baka in the future, may mga ma-handle tayong client na ganito ang case, then at least alam na natin kung ano ang gagawin natin. And at least hindi na tayo matatakot na baka may gawin siyang masama sa atin since lagi nating nami-misinterpret yung mga taong nagda-drug. So, let's use our principle, yung non-judgmental attitude again, and let's widen our mind to accept them and understand them. So, kasi may mga tao talaga na, like, kapag about na sa drugs or about marinig nila na, ay, si ganito, nag-drugs yan, ganyan. Pero may isip nila na, ay, delikado itong tao na to kasi, parang sira na yung pag-iisip niya, ganyan. But then, tayo ng mga social workers, as a student or as a professional soon, tayo yung may mas malawak na pag-iintindi at mas malawak na kaalaman about sa mga tao na to. So, lagi nating isipin na hindi porket ganun ang nangyari sa kanya is kagustuhan niya talaga yun. There is always reason behind every problem, every decision. Kasi hindi naman like parang nag-decision ka lang na walang reason, walang nag-trigger sa'yo para gawin yun. So, as a social worker, we must really widen our mind, we must really understand every people around us and sa future clients natin, inshallah, kapag nasa field na tayo, ganyan. Kasi, it is also hard for them to accept what really happened to them. So, hindi na natin dapat dagdagan yung burden na nararamdaman nila. So, we are working with the client. So, as a worker, we should understand them, accept them, and we must fight for them. So, yun lang. That would be all for my part. So, sana is may naintindihan kayo. Sana nabigay ko ng tamang explanation yung topic na na-assign sa akin. So, the next reporter will explain yung other topic na na-assign sa amin. So, again, this is Bainar Abdullah Kong. Thank you so much for watching. Shukran.
So, good day to all of you. I am Ali Yusuf Aibna, the next reporter, which I will discuss about the mental health issue, suicidal ideation, which I will discuss kung paano ito maiiwasan at kung paano ito masusolusyonan. So, the first is the crisis intervention. So in this crisis intervention, isa ito sa pinakamahalagang gawain ng isang social work practice, which is they providing immediate support at intervention ng individuals, kagaya ng nakakaranas ng mga mental health crisis, kagaya ng pagsusuicide or sinasaktan nila kanilang sarili. If ever na meron kayong kakilala or friend na ginagawa ito, pwede nyo silang tulungan kagaya ng pakikipag-usap. Because yung situation na kaya nilang saktan ang kanilang sarili is pwede itong humantong sa pagsusuicide. So in social worker, they are trained to assess the situation. First, they ensure na safe yung individuals or yung client. They provide also emotional support and connect them with appropriate resources and services upang tulungan sila sa mga pinagdadaanan nila. The second one is the assessment and safety planning. So in assessment and safety planning, it is a crucial component of suicide prevention and mental health intervention strategies. If ever na nag-a-assist tayo ng client or individual na may risk ng pagsusuicide, yung mga mental health professional or like social worker, psychologist, or counselor is they evaluate yung client if ever nag-exist ba sa kanya or nag-iisip ba silang na mag-suicide. So after that, based sa kanyang pinagsasabi-sabi, is dito na nade-develop yung safety planning, which is kung paano mababawasan or kung paano ma-eliminate yung nagkakos sa kanya ng harm and provide support to individuals. A safety plan typically includes the following components, which is itong tatlo na ito. The identifying warning sign, which is that identifying warning sign, the individual and mental health professional work together para malaman kung ano yung dahilan why naiisip nila na pagsusuicide. The second one is the internal coping strategies. The safety includes a loss of coping strategies that the individual can cause if ever na may nararamdaman siyang kakaiba like stress. Example of this like yung pag-iwas ng ganito is yung using the inhale and exhale. Or if ever na gawin mo yung activity na nag-enjoy ka, kagaya ng pagbabasketball, pagkakanta, or something like that. So, the third one is social support. So, yung social support is kung sino man yung nalalapitan ng individual if ever they feel stressed, like friends, family, or mental health professional. So, the last one in my part is the counseling therapy. So, in counseling therapy, in social worker plays a crucial role in providing counseling and therapy to individuals with mental health issue. Nag-offer sila ng therapeutic intervention and focus issue or nararamdaman ng client. And also para mag-improve or mag-enhance yung kakayahan ng individuals. Ang main point lang ng intervention na ito is para i-support natin yung individuals and para matulungan silang i-improve ang kanilang sarili lalo sa mga haraping hamon sa buhay. So that's all in my part. Maraming salamat po.
Assalamualaikum. I am Esnara Angan from BS Social Work 2B. My topic for today is only continuation by Mr. Ba. By referral and linkage, they connect clients to appropriate mental health services including psychologists and community-based organizations for specialized care. Ang mga pasyenteng kumakaharap or dumadaan sa mga issues na ito like the substance abuse, mental health issues, dumadaan sa pagkakaroon ng depressions, anxiety disorder or eating disorder, and those people na nagtatangkang magpakamatay like the suicidal ideation. So, ang mga professionals are referring them to psychologists. Psychologists are medical doctors who specialize in mental health including substance abuse disorder. Psychologists are the one who can help them para ma-overcome nila yung mga problems na kinakaharap nila by providing assessments, evaluations, and psychotherapy. Ang psychotherapy ay tumutulong sa mga individuals na to better understand their behavior para ma-develop yung higher self-esteem nila at makuping stress na nila at ma-address pa ang ibang pang psychiatric problems nila. Hindi lang ang psychologist ang pwedeng ma-refer sa kanila at marami pang ibang therapists na pwede silang ma-refer like the psychodynamic therapy. Sa community-based organizations naman, mayroong association sa Pilipinas na PMHA or tinatawag na the Philippine Mental Health Association. Ang association na ito is a non-profit organization na nag-o-offer ng mental health services including support groups, counseling, and community outreach programs. Ang programang ito is nire-refer rin ang mga professionals na pwedeng mapasukan ng mga pasyenteng kumakaharap sa mga mental health issues and substance abuse. By advocacy, social workers advocate for mental health awareness, destigmatization, and improve access to mental health services in the Philippines. Ang mga social workers are advocating those patients na kumakaharap ng mental health issues. Gaya na banggit ko kanina, ang Mental Health Association, ang PMHA, ay mayroon ding programa na tinatawag na CBMHP, a community-based mental health program. Ang aim nila nito is to raise an awareness tungkol sa health and mental disorders in community. Ang community-based mental health program does treat conditions, thus begin empowering health workers. By collaboration, they collaborate with multidisciplinary teams including healthcare providers, educators, and law enforcement to address the complex needs of individuals with mental health issues. Ang mga social workers ay nakikipag-collaborate sa mga agencies para makapag-provide ng assistance at medical assistance ng mga patients like the healthcare providers. Ito ay mga organizations sa Department of Health at ang community health centers gaya ng health centers sa ating mga free medicines na tatanggap. Pangalawang agencies na nakikipag-collaborate ang social workers are the law enforcement like PNP, Philippine National Police at ang PDEA, Philippine Drug Enforcement, kung saan kapag may mga crimes na involve ang mga patients na kumakaharap sa substance abuse, mental health issues, and society, sila ang humuli at kumukulong sa mga patients na iyon. At mga pang mga agencies na already linked by helping the community.
Good day everyone, my name is Roxanne Cando. My assigned topic is related to law in the Philippines, which is the Republic Act 11036, also known as the Mental Health Act. So, the Mental Health Act is a law na pinapahiwatig lang ito kung ano ba yung rights and freedoms for those people with a mental health disorder, no? Kung ano ba yung pwedeng services na para sa kanila and also how they can be treated. Na ang purpose lang nitong act na to is to promote the well-being of people by ensuring that mental health is valued, promoted, and protected. And also, mental health conditions are treated and prevented. And also, itong law na to is nag-providing sila ng establishment for the suicidal person. Kagaya ng prevention hotline, which is meron tayong National Center for Mental Health Crisis hotline. And intervention programs, especially for those suicidal person.